Hi everybody, and welcome to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. For this video, I've got a story for you from the subreddit Relationship Advice with an update and a story from Today I Effed Up. So if you want to get started with the stories, then just use the timestamps below the video. Now, I'd like to thank all of you that support me in so many different ways as YouTube members, Reddit subscribers, or even donating in the live streams. And on this point, I would like to welcome Amy Flores as the newest YouTube member. And if this is the first time watching one of my videos and you like it, then consider subscribing to the channel and joining us on Discord. Now let's get started with today's stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationship Advice and it's from user Throwaway Breaks. My male 25 girlfriend, female 24, wants to break up with me because I can do the splits. I have a regular account, but this is a throwaway for this situation specifically. I've been with her for the past 4 years-ish, and we're currently engaged and planning our wedding for hopefully early next year, since we figured most of 2021 would be used to really get past the latter stages of the pandemic. We rarely ever fight, but she insists I broke her trust over what happened a few days ago. My girlfriend works full-time as a receptionist, but she also does yoga very seriously on the side. She has a separate Instagram account just for yoga, and she also has a few clients she teaches in a gym as well. I used to do gymnastics growing up, before switching to aerial circus that a nearby circus studio offered for a few years. And it was there that I mostly focused on training aerial straps in my early years of high school, before stopping due to some repeated injuries. But I still try to keep some of the conditioning I learned there and still apply it when I'm training today at the gym or whatever. But my problem started when she asked me to help her film something. She has a YouTube channel that she's trying to constantly grow, and she asked me to help with a splits tutorial where she would do advanced versions of stretches while I did more basic, inflexible versions of them. But when she had me try a few of the stretches she had in mind, she was surprised with how easy some of them were for me, and when she sarcastically asked me if I could do the splits, I showed her that I could, and for some reason she got really offended. I wasn't showing off or anything, I just did the poses she asked. I've helped her with other videos before, but when she asked how I learned it, I told her that I did gymnastics and aerial straps right before beginning high school and tried to keep some of the conditioning exercises that I learned as part of my usual gym training routine. But she got offended that I never told her about it, but I did tell her about it many years ago, but she just didn't remember, and that's fine. I don't think it's that important, and I told her that the last time I did aerial straps or gymnastics was like 9th grade, maybe 10th. But she spun it into, "What else are you hiding?" and called me a liar and asked, "Why don't I make an Instagram just like her?" and stuff like that. And I honestly didn't know why she was getting so worked up. I told her that I was sorry despite not thinking I had anything to be sorry for. But her mood was ruined and she just gave up on the video idea and said that she changed her mind and acted distant for the rest of the day. Then when I get home and I try to text her again that I'm sorry, she doesn't respond. And she's not responded to anything that I texted her for 4 days straight when we almost always talk. Then finally, about a week later, she told me that she wanted to take a break from our relationship and a bunch of other things about how she couldn't trust me. And while I think she's overreacting, I couldn't bring myself to say that and told her that I'd respect her request and that I was sorry for offending her again. But it's almost been 3 weeks and she hasn't contacted me. And one of the friends we both have from our friend group contacted me and said that she's been talking crap about me to some of the other girls. And when I decided to open up and tell him how I thought she was being ridiculous, he said that she cares way too much about her Instagram and other things about how he thought she was arrogant. And I'm kinda upset at myself for not telling her how ridiculous she was sounding and just sucking up. But I'm getting a little worried, and we still have engagement plans, but I'm also reconsidering how easily she gets offended over something as small as this, and before I break her no contact and try to consider calling her back, I've really been thinking about this and just need to hear some other opinions. And I also want to ask how I should reach out after her request to have some space, to see where we stand with the engagement, and our future in general. or if I should even reach out at this point at all or just wait for her. Well, OP, you are not wrong. She is being absolutely ridiculous. But do you think this actually has to do with the splits thing? So from what you tell us, I can only arrive to two conclusions. The obvious one to me is that she's just looking for an out, and this is her excuse to not feel guilty or anything like that and try to pin it on you. And the second one, which is absolutely ridiculous and stupid in my opinion, is that she thinks of herself as the flexible, sporty one in the relationship, and the fact that you did gymnastics and she forgot about it and can do the splits particularly, or that have the flexibility of a person who does yoga, she didn't like that. Now, the only reason I'm actually considering that ridiculous premise is because she told you to make your own Instagram account. Now, in my personal opinion, if that is the reason why she's going no contact with you for 3 weeks and all that stuff, then she's an idiot and maybe you should also be considering what kind of future you guys are gonna have. What do you guys think about this whole thing? Do you think the reason is because she's looking for a way out of the relationship, or because she's competing in some level with her partner? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they had to say. Snoo Macarons 1274 says, I recommend you talk to her since you'll have been together 4 years, plus have an engagement going on. But it is a bit sketchy to know how easily offended and jealous she got over the fact that you could do something that she can. How immature can you be to not talk to your boyfriend for 3 weeks just because he can do the splits? I'm not sure if this is the first time she has behaved like this, but this is just a glimpse of how she will react to situations that bother her. No contact, immature behavior, silent treatment. Really think about your future wife acting like a 12-year-old and can't have a mature conversation about something that clearly bothered her. OP responds, I've never seen her get upset over anything as petty as this, but my friend from our friend group really thinks that she's too arrogant and jealous, and that may be the reason why. But I'm thinking that maybe she already had something else she was upset about but never told me that I've never picked up on. But I also agree that it's really immature and stupid. Like, I kinda regret even showing her in the first place. But maybe it was a blessing in disguise. If I contact her, it might be from seeing where we stand with the wedding and cancelling. But that might be about it, since the past 3 weeks have been painful already. Daloco6913 says, for your own sake, please end it. This is a red flag the size of Mars. She will be breaking your heart for years. Now she ghosts and crap talks. Next time she cheats because she thinks you deserve it. Anita Knapp says, holy crap, this sounds like a blessing. Yes, she's overreacting. She either has a major issue with needing to be the best, or she is freakishly paranoid. Either way, she's treating you horribly. I don't think I'd want to marry someone who's that insecure and whose whole identity lies in their Instagram account. And OP responds, she's never ghosted me before or anything like this, and we don't argue a lot, but the few times we do, she's usually very understanding, and I'd like to think that I am. She's usually pretty chill, but the friend from my friend group, the one who told me that she's been telling the other girls in our friend group things about me during the past 3 weeks of ghosting, told me that she's really into her yoga Instagram and maybe really jealous or something like that. And he also said that some of the girls in our group have said that her yoga Instagram seems to be more about her posting prideful poses, but that they never wanted to tell me that. That's his opinion, but the past 3 weeks over something this petty just hurts a lot. Well, we can see that the community advice ranges from OP talking to her about what is going on, or just getting out of it, but either way, everybody agrees that she is behaving pretty immature. In any case, we have an update from OP, so let's continue with that to see what happened after this. It's been about a week, and she's kinda made the decision to break up on her own actually. And here's what I mean. She actually went through and made her splits video on her own. And she actually threw in a joke in there about how girls watching should ask their boyfriends if they can do the splits too and are shy about their talent. And honestly, I found it kind of funny at this point just to see how petty and upset she was over this. Some of the girls in my friend group who kinda took my side said that my fiance doesn't seem to understand what yoga means, and they happen to do yoga as well. They said that she's stupid because she's certified and doesn't understand that yoga isn't a competition, but rather a personal journey, to quote them specifically. But she seems to care more about showing off impressive poses on Instagram more than actually promoting what yoga is about. And how she's basically body shaming me, as they put it, is the opposite of what yoga stands for, in their opinion. They also had an issue with the joke that she made during the video, and specifically with how she told the girls that were watching to ask their boyfriends if they could do the splits, in an attempt to see if they were hiding it from her. And they said that she came off as wrong and somewhat sexist and immature. And they also showed me some of the texts that she sent them. Stuff about how she said that I'm hiding things from her, and why was there a need to hide something as simple as that in regards to my gymnastics background. And personally, I think it's really dumb. Like, this is high school behavior. And maybe not even that, because when I was in high school, some people were petty, but this is just a lot. When I texted her in regards to the wedding and asking where we stand, she didn't respond. And when I texted her again another day, she didn't respond again. When I tried calling her twice on the same days, she didn't respond either. And I'm trying, with the help of my parents, to cancel the wedding on our side. But she and her parents are not responding. And with the payments they have down, we're nervous about getting looped into something that they could hold against us. And at this point, I could care less about the ring. I asked my dad if we should go over, but he said that it was a bad idea given their behavior. But we've talked to the planner, who's had little communication with her family too, and that's pretty much where we are at this point. I called her a few times, and my dad called her parents, but they aren't responding on numerous days. And I want to ask how to get out of the wedding at this point, the most safe way as possible with no strings that they could hold on us. Or if it's possible to cancel it without having to see any of them again. My dad is also inquiring how to do this on his own, but I want to ask here too, and I could care less about the ring at this point. I also want to say thanks for all the advice giving out the first time, and for anyone else who decides to comment on this one. So we get from the update that this relationship is absolutely over. Ghosted for such a long time that he just doesn't care anymore and he just wants out. Now, the problem OP has at the moment is how to cancel the whole wedding without being legally bound to any sort of contract, or that he would have to pay something or something like that, I'm assuming. And on that point, I would say OP, first talk to a lawyer to see what your options are, then talk to the suppliers and the venue to see if you can take your name out of any contracts that you might have signed. Maybe, and I'm pretty sure you will have to pay some fee for cancellation, because if it's already underway or they have invested something in getting your wedding done, then yeah, you're probably going to have to pay something. And on this, I would be very specific to mention that the reason why all of this is being cancelled is because the wedding itself has been cancelled. There isn't an engagement anymore. OP said twice that he doesn't care about the ring anymore, so that's how out of this thing he is. So what do you guys think about OP's new problem? Do you think he's going to be able to get out of this without paying anything? Do you think he's going to have to pay something? How would you go about canceling this wedding when you can't talk to the person that you want to end the engagement with? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Today I Effed Up, and it's from user Edgy Shoes. Today I effed up by paying my wife for sex. Obligatory. This happened about 5 hours ago, but I seen the email 30 minutes ago while taking a crap and finally piecing the puzzle together. We have been waiting for our debit cards for 2 weeks. We started a new bank account and had all of our money go into it, besides a little bit we put on a prepaid card. Turns out this online bank does not send out your debit card until you make a deposit. Hit a week ago. I am sure it said that somewhere, so that is on us. Anyway, we have been spreading the money we had super thin, and we finally reached a point that we're going to try Venmo or PayPal again. We tried them early in the week and it would not connect to the other card for some reason. My wife gets everything set up while I'm playing PS4, hits transfer and sends a test $50. It worked. So this is where I come in. I said, you should have sent more. So I take the phone from her hand and send 225 on Venmo and jokingly write "sex" in the message. Error, cannot process this transaction. Next, I get an email saying my account has violated terms of service and it is frozen. Well, P, apparently the Venmo system did not quite get that you were actually trying to make a joke, I would assume, right? But at least this is a lesson learned. You shouldn't put sex in the transaction message whenever you're paying for anything. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I certainly did reading them to you. So if you did, then go ahead and give the video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and become a member of our Discord community that just keeps growing, and it is fantastic. And like I said in the beginning of the video, all of the relevant links are in the video description below, so be sure to check them out. And finally, I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys enjoy this content, so thank you once again. And having said all that, I will see you guys in the next video.